This is the finishing area. So here we have the hole punch. Okay, works on the basis of a treadle press. Okay. This is a perforator. So that would be used for stamps and books of tickets and stuff like that. So you put the page in there, and do you want to have a try this and see what happens? Press your foot down.
Let it up.
Take it up. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. So you have your perforation there. That's a guillotine. Okay, so that's locked for not for security reasons. Why do I always say security reasons? Health and safety, so nobody sticks their fingers in. So we come down here to this machine. And that gentleman over there worked on this machine, or something similar to this, for a lot of his working career. This is a Shaw pen ruling machine, and I know he'll probably correct me on some stuff. So this is a Shaw pen ruling machine. Okay, it was used, something like this, that was used to print books and ledgers like this. Okay. It was the one and only time that a woman worked in a print shop. Now, like I said earlier on, right, bookbinders weren't printers. And compositors weren't printers. Printers are printers, and that was it. So, what happens with this is, you have these things here. They look like combs that you put in your hair. But in fact, they're pens, and the pens have little channels in them. Okay? And they go into the cartridge like so. If I can get it in. Now, to make ready this machine, you wonder why I say make ready, because that's the term that they use. To make ready this machine took quite a long time, didn't it, Don?
Yeah.
It's the one and only time that a woman would have worked in a print shop. She would feed the paper into the machine while the bookbinder was making sure that the ink wasn't flashing, or that everything was working on the machine. So we have a basin or bone here, and I'm going to get my hands all ink. It's muslin, it's very light cloth. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my hands on the stuff that I wanted, and I'm thankful that the ink has taken over, because you don't see the ducks and the bears on this. We had a problem getting the right material.
She found it in my hot press at home.
So this is powder-based ink. So you put the ink in the water and soak the cloth, and the cloth would then go on the cartridge, onto the combs, onto the pens, and then, as I say, while the bookbinder was making sure that the machine was running smoothly and there's no blotting of the ink and that the pens constantly had ink, the woman would be feeding the paper into the machine. Now, I'm not going to turn it on because it's very noisy, but I'll just give you a little demonstration. So if you watch, the paper is going to travel down the bed, and you wonder why it's taking so long. You want to look underneath and see where it comes out in. Down at the end. Now, when you're wondering why it takes so long for the paper to travel across the bed, it's because the ink is water-based, so it gives each page time to dry, so when each page falls into the bin, they don't stick together. And that's that machine. Did I leave anything out, Mr. Kerrigan?
No, you didn't. No, you're doing fine.
So, which brings me on to this big book here. What I know of it, okay, it was produced for demonstration purposes, just to show you the ruling on the pages, both vertical and horizontal. To make it...
The ruling was done by an expert.
So
I did it.
To make it, there's a lot of work gone into the making of this book. Behind these pages, there's threads, there's tape and everything to hold all the pages together. But the one thing I love about this book is the mottling on it. This is one of a kind. We have notebooks there in the print shop. If you look at them, they're all mottled, but none of them are the same. Okay, so you have a basin of water, you'd have powdered ink, and you'd have my favourite, Carrageen moss. The powder would be put on the top of the moss, and you get a sharp implement, or you could have a straw or something, to make designs in the water. Okay, when you get your book, before it's bound, it'll be clamped to get all the air out, and you dip all the sides into the water, into the ink, and that creates the mottling. There's never one book the same. That's the story of our wonderful ledger. And
Why
the
do they
mottling.
want to do that? Just for
Design, decoration, yeah. Yeah.
It's
like
got
marble,
a tank of water. You put Caribbean moss, which floats on top of the water. Colours are put across. You get a comb, and you get the peacock feather effect by using combs. And that's where you get the individual. You can never repeat it twice. The same. And you dip the book. As Ellen has just told you.
And that's our tour. Has anybody any questions?